Okay, so the project for today is to rework this bed that's along the chain link fence here. There's a couple of reasons for this. The main one is that I'm short, my arms are too short, and it's hard to reach the far end of the bed against the chain link fence. And also it makes it easier. We've got this tree stump we turned into a bench, and it's just too narrow to fit a snow shovel through. So it makes it easier to get through, plus with the wheelbarrow and stuff like that. So last year we planted along here peas, which did not do too well, especially once the deer started eating it. And we also planted a variety of lettuce that we got to try for free seeds. We ended up leaving them go to seed. You can see some stems left over from them. For all I know, some of them have reseeded themselves. Most of them did not make it. I'm surprised we had any at all. Right over here, you can actually see this is a shallot. I found it in the dirt, I replanted it, and it survived the winter. And as we go along here, farther along, and then onto this side, we planted a very tiny variety of bok choy that we got as a free seed to try. And then last of all along the outer edge, we planted the tiniest leftover onion seedlings. So all along closer to the brick is where we planted them. And also some onions that I found while I was digging the bed last year. And lo and behold, I've removed the mulch, and I found some of these onions have actually survived the winter and are starting to grow. So I'm going to actually transplant those because they are growing where I need to dig up the bed. So I'm going to make the bed 2 bricks wide instead of 2 and almost 3 bricks wide. And that should be narrow enough that I can reach it and actually work the entire bed. I forgot to mention another reason I want to make this bed narrower. If you see these broken up sidewalk blocks over here, as we were cleaning up and digging around, I kept digging further and further, and there's actually sidewalk blocks underneath here. It was just buried in soil, and so there's a whole bunch of broken up pieces of sidewalk block under here that we need to clean out. So my next step after removing the mulch is to remove these bricks on the side. This is the mulch over here, which worked out pretty well right up until I got to this section over here. So I might not be able to finish the entire bed today because where I am here, the ground is still frozen, and I'm having to pry the bricks out with a garden fork there. Oh, another thing I need to make sure to do when this bed is reworked is find a way to shelter it, because one of the main reasons why this bed was a failure last year is actually because of these. We've got these Chinese elm overhead, and in the spring they drop billions of seeds, and they basically choked out everything that was growing. So most of the lettuce that we planted and the bok choy that we planted, they just simply got smothered by seeds. And we've got a whole bunch of these in the yard. They were grown for shade. They're beautiful shade trees, but they are just really terrible for growing things. So I've just quickly transplanted the onions over here. I believe these are Oneida onions. We grew them a couple years back. And over here are the shallots and the other onions. I am not sure what variety those ones are. But this bed here is going to have peas planted down the middle, and then other things on the side, so the onions will do fine on the edges like this. There's room for other things that I have planned for this bed. Alright, so I found this chunk that I've pulled out, And there's a broken piece over here. I'm actually going to leave that. I'll level it a bit, but it's not going to go under where the bed is going to be. And this came loose because I dug up a root and that pulled it up as I was going. That can stay. And it does look like there's more brick under there, but I'm hoping that's just frozen ground, but it's awfully hard. Yeah, so I got more digging to do. I don't know how far this goes. So this is as far as I can get today. The ground is simply too frozen. I might actually be able to leave this. I need to find out how much farther it goes underneath here. Because the bed is actually going to be narrow enough to miss where that tip is. But if it extends farther than that, I'll have to take it out because it'll make it hard for the roots of anything I plant in here, which explains a lot of the problems I had in this corner. Anyhow, so this is how far I'm getting today. I tried to use water to get into there and it's just too frozen. But now that the mulch is removed and the loose soil is moved aside, well, except for where it's still too frozen over here, we've got some warm days coming up, so things should thaw out a bit more and I should be able to get some more progress done on this bed.